Yo, we are back in the building. Sky Squad. We got some things to talk about today. Okay. So, I feel like today's conversation is going to be heavily leaning into business discussions. So, if you are interested in reality TV business, then this is going to be the video for you. Okay? So that I want to start this thing off first by saying that because I feel like it just needed to be said. You know what I'm saying? It just needed to be said. All right. So we're gonna get into it in just 1 second. Let me take a good sip of this tea real quick. Mm. We're gonna be talking about Pinky Cole. Not so good news for her. But again, we're gonna talk business. Okay. As you see on the screen, we're going to be talking about Belle Collective Birmingham. The trailer is out. In addition to cast photos, descriptions, all of that, we got the tea straight from RHONJ. So we're going to talk about that as well. And we're also going to talk about New Jersey. Some Jersey news has dropped today for you Real Housewives of New Jersey fans. Y'all know on this show, we have recapped Jersey in the past. So we're going to be talking about that. I have an affinity for Jersey, even though I don't have a love for it. I have an affinity for it. So we'll discuss the casting that just came out from that and what we saw this morning from Margaret Josephs that kind of made me think that we were going to get some casting news today. So let's dive in. But before we do that, I do want to shout out Miss Mackenzie. All right. Why am I shouting out Miss Mackenzie? Because I was sent the new book. Okay. Mildred Conversations and Cocktails. Baby, you did the doggone thing with this cover of this book. It is titled Delirium, A Tale of Sex and Love. Now, I was able to retrieve some items from my mailbox that had been kind of stuck in a weird queue. So I want to just shout you out real quick. I will definitely be diving in. Y'all know I always want to celebrate my fellow authors. I actually want to take some authors away on like an author's retreat because I want to finish my novel. So let me let y'all know that Miss Mildred and Conversations and Cocktails, I'm about to be diving into this book. This cover is selling it. It's selling it. You taking it on that one. Okay. So let's dive on in. What kind of tea am I drinking? Let's see if I can add this to the broadcast today. Yes, we're back in business. I can see it. Miss Star 85, I'm drinking chamomile tea, actually. I love chamomile tea, even though people drink it at nighttime. I like to drink it during the day because it does not contain NT caffeine. Okay, that's what I like about it, unless they done snuck something in there and I ain't know about it. But yeah, so let's get into it. Let's go ahead and dive into it. We got things working again today, y'all. We got things working, so we moving and shaking and baking. Okay, so let's talk Belle Collective Birmingham. This is so fascinating to me. I remember telling y'all months ago that I felt like Love and Marriage Huntsville was missing something, and I did feel like that something was. Ooh, wow! I'm getting some notifications from the rep at Balenciaga, y'all. Girl, what you sending me? What you sending me? Oh, you just sent me a whole lot of stuff. I don't know now. I don't know if I need to open up that text message. Okay, so Belle Collective Birmingham, I said it before. I said Love and Marriage Huntsville is missing some type of key character, something. And I stated that, with the loss of Mel and with the loss of Stormy, I felt like the cast needed something. And I still do. That's no disrespect to the current cast. It's just that there's something missing for me. But we'll see how this plays out once I dive back into the episodes now that I'm back from my travels to Vietnam and to Thailand. And we're getting ready for Bali. We still have spaces for Bali. But they booked up, y'all. I mean, they done booked up. So tap on in while you can. I think I got 2 spaces left for this week, for the week of October 8th through the 15th. So tap on into that. All right, so let's get into the Belle Collective Birmingham of it all. So as you can see, this is the cast photo. New city, new Bells. Sasha from Balenciaga, you about to be blocked, girl, because you keep sending me messages. And I'm trying to work. So the press release reads as such. I'm going to read it to y'all. RHONJ's newest franchise and first ever Belle Collective spinoff is set to premiere on Friday, April the 10th. So I'm going to run you down the schedule that we're going to have with Belle Collectives in general, because this is going to air simultaneously for a little while with Belle Collective, the original version. Okay. All right. It says it features a powerful collective of Southern belles in the rising cultural mecca of Birmingham, Alabama. At the center of it all is powerhouse entrepreneur and visionary Stormy Steele, founder and CEO of wildly successful brand Canvas Beauty. The new series will debut immediately following Belle Collective on April 10th, and the show's season finale on April 17th, before moving into the 8 p.m. time slot beginning Friday, April 24th. So what this tells me is that Belle Collective, the original, is going to be split in half. So it sounds like what we're going to do is like what they did with Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is not my favorite thing to do, okay? It's not my favorite thing to do, but it sounds like Belle Collective will end on a mid-season, and then Belle Collective Birmingham will pick up during the period of time that Belle Collective is off, and then Belle Collective will come back on after Belle Collective Birmingham maybe either ends the season or does its own mid-season. I would imagine that having Stormy on the show, I mean, again, it gives it a boost. I will tell y'all right now, there are a lot of networks that, and I don't know this, no one has told me this at OWN, okay? So let me just state this. But what I do know from my own meetings about reality TV shows, because I do pitch. I'm not going to even lie to y'all. I pitch your shows, okay? I do. But from my own pitch meetings that I've had, and I've not had any with OWN, so let me just state that off the bat with you guys, that a lot of the networks right now, a lot of the streaming networks, they want a name attached to a show, okay? Having a name attached to a show is a much easier sell than a group of completely new people. So that's why you see a show like Next Gen do so well, because those kids are associated with big names on Bravo, right? Just to give you an example, and the Belle Collective Birmingham is so much easier to sell because it has a name attached to it, like Stormy Steele. So we do know that, so for me, it would not be beyond the realm of reason or possibility that for a new season, it may get more than the traditional amount of episodes that a first season would typically get, because a first season might typically get 6 to 8, 7 episodes, if that, total for the year. And then we would have to wait a while for the next season to come out. But with this, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept filming so that we got a second part of the season. Because if I'm Stormy, I'm negotiating. Y'all gonna give me all my 15 to 21 episodes that I deserve. Like I'm a boss. I'm doing this thing. Y'all know I got the content. Y'all know I got the people. So go ahead and run me my coins, run me my episodes. If I'm her, that's what I'm saying. Or if I'm her agent, that's what I'm saying. Period. All right. So it goes on to talk about the Belle Collective universe, which you guys kind of already know. But specifically, it says Belle Collective Birmingham, Stormy connects with a circle of driven, successful Southern belles, all determined to transform Birmingham into a thriving destination for beauty, influence, and Black entrepreneurship. Her savvy CFO, Amber Jones, entrepreneur Tiffany Jones, marketing strategist Funmi Ford, and talent manager, I think it's Kala Inman, as Stormy is introduced to this group of friends and spends more time in Birmingham, Alliances form and tensions surface amongst the Belles, with old rivalries, competing visions of success, and clashing personalities threatening the new group's delicate balance. With glamour, ambition, and emotional authenticity at its core, Belle Collective Birmingham explores the real-life balancing act of business, motherhood, marriage, friendship, faith, and personal reinvention. In the city on the rise, power, influence, and loyalty are always at play. Meet the Belles of Belle Collective Birmingham. So, of course, we have Stormy Steele. And just to read you guys what it says about Stormy, it says she's a trailblazing entrepreneur, beauty industry disruptor, and the powerhouse CEO and founder of the Canvas Agency. Because from my understanding, I believe that Stormy now is doing the TikTok agency thing, but I'm not really sure how that works specifically. I love those products. To be quite honest with you, she can do no wrong in my eyes in terms of the products. Known for her bold innovation, record-breaking achievements, and instinctive ability to spot what's next, Stormy has built a reputation as one of the most influential businesswomen shaping modern commerce. We know all about her brand and the records that she's broke on TikTok, so I don't need to go into all of that for you guys. Amber Jones it looks like the young lady to the left, the immediate right of Stormy. It says she is Stormy's trusted CFO. Mind you guys, there is a trailer out for it as well. I did see a trailer for it. It's about a minute long, so it's more of a teaser trailer. It does not focus much on the drama. It focuses more on the ladies individually and the sisterhood of it all. So you don't really get those yelling and screaming moments that you might be expecting, which is cool because I kind of want to see something a little meatier. And when I say meatier, I'm saying like meat and potatoes. I want to see a little bit more of that versus just the screaming and yelling and the antics that we're used to with a lot of these shows, which oftentimes drives a trailer and it makes it interesting because we know that people love the drama, but I want to see a little bit more than that. I will place a link for you guys in the description of this video once I am finished. I have the trailer sent to me from the press release, but I don't think I can play it on this broadcast. So I will put it in the link in the description after I finish with the video. All right. So this is Stormy's CFO and business soulmate. With deep roots in Birmingham, Amber is known as the connector to the city's most elite social and business circles. While Amber prides herself on being fiercely loyal to Stormy and the Canvas mission, her direct communication style and strong opinions can sometimes create friction within the group. And with past tensions lingering between Amber, who is the young lady to the immediate right of Stormy, and Kalia, I'm going to assume it's Kala. I can't really pronounce it. It says old wounds resurface as personal and professional lines begin to blur. Kala appears to be the young lady who is beside Amber and to the far right end if you're looking at the frame on the screen. We have Funmi Ford is a Nigerian American marketing strategist. She is the young lady to Stormy's immediate left. And it says that she is known for fashion influencing, sharp business instincts, bold style, unapologetically outspoken personality, a strong background in branding and marketing. Funmi thrives on helping businesses grow while cultivating her own rising influence in fashion and lifestyle. But balancing ambition with family life proves challenging as Funmi navigates tensions within her marriage, including disagreements about finances, priorities, and emotional connection. Her candid nature and fearless honesty make her a dynamic presence within the group, though her willingness to speak her mind may ruffle feathers amongst the more reserved Belles. And then we have the final Belle, which is Kala Inman. She's the talent manager. And if I'm butchering this young lady's name, I certainly apologize for that. Is a talent manager, entrepreneur, and devoted mother of four who is stepping into a powerful new chapter of her life following the end of her 18-year marriage. As the founder of Collab Model Maker, she has dedicated her career to mentoring and developing aspiring talent while building a business rooted in empowerment and self-confidence. Now newly divorced, she is embracing the opportunity to rediscover herself, rebuild her both personally and professionally. A lot of what we will about that. Okay. Basically, she's got issues with Amber, who is the young lady to the. Actually, you know what? I'm missing somebody in this mix. Who am I missing? Oh, I missed the Tiffany lady. Yeah, Tiffany. She's an entrepreneur and a devoted wife, but that's the young lady to the far left. The woman is grounded in her faith and family values. That's really all we get from her. She's hoping to expand her family. Let's just talk about the cast. Is Kayla? It's Kayla. Okay. Kayla. That makes sense. Speak with your girl, Marcella. Thank you so much for helping me pronounce that, because I sure did butcher it. So I butchered that thing down. Butchered it down, baby. I butchered that name. I hacked it up and sawed it and chopped it up into little pieces and sent it in the mail. Okay. Now that we've gotten that down, what do I think of the trailer? What do I think of the women? What do I think of this as a business decision for Stormi? Honestly, I feel like Stormi kind of has the Midas touch when it comes to business. So I'm here for it. I think it can be an extension of her brand. I would wonder how much of the drama she'll be actually into. Do I think it'll affect anything with her Canvas Beauty brand? Not really. It seems like the show is kind of built around her and her business. And I just don't think that I don't think that this is a bad decision. I'm excited about it based on the trailer. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll have a different feeling from Belle Collected, the original version. But that's just based on what I've seen from the trailer. It seems very, very different. So let me know if you'll be watching it down in the comment section down below. All right. Let us move on, because we got to discuss some more business. We've got to discuss a little bit more business. Now, what business are we going to be discussing? The first thing that I want to discuss with you guys is, did you know that Pinky Cole, one of the new cast members of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, has a book called I Hope You Fail? Okay. Speaking of books today, how did I find this? I just so happened to be wandering the business section, and bam. Okay. Bam, for those of you guys that don't know, is Books A Million. I love a bookstore. So for me, I just like to be there. I like to wander amongst I like to see what's all there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just like books and I like to read. And so imagine, to my shock and surprise, when I see this book titled I Hope You Fail. And I couldn't help but think, I do not like this title. I don't like it. And I get it, though, because I think that there's some irony in it. And I think that I understand what she was going for with this. But when I think about it in tandem with what is going on in the headlines today, I just look at this book title and I think, oh no, this was no good. Or was it? Okay, or was it? We're going to refer back to this book in just 1 second after we talk about this latest story regarding Pinky Cole. So walk with me down this lonely road. Okay? So the news broke. My homegirl just sent me this before we started this video, and I thought, oh, wow. Oh, wow. And I have to shout out TMZ, The Neighborhood Talk, our boy House of Aaron, contributing to this. Let's get into the team. So we knew that Pinky Cole had filed for the bankruptcy, the business bankruptcy, right? She is the owner of the slutty vegan chain, okay? Restaurantes, if you will. Pinky Cole will be a new cast member on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, apparently, the creditors have seized her home despite the bankruptcy filing that should have paused collections. Right now, people are reacting to this news because shortly after the bankruptcy news broke, Pinky Cole, made several parody posts on Instagram, kind of, I don't want to say making light of, but maybe sort of hoping to, it came across as trolling the people who were commenting about her bankruptcy status. One of those posts was a post that I actually thought was pretty funny that showed what people thought bankruptcy looked like, and that was her with her bags, sort of slow limping out of the house, suitcases in tow and whatnot. And the irony of that situation is that parody has seemingly come to life, unfortunately. Now, let me say this. I, of course, do not wish this on anybody because, listen, debt is a hard thing to go through mentally. But I do think that there's always an opportunity to recover. A lot of us have been through all types of different things, so I don't make light of any of this. But I think that people are reacting to this in particular because of those parody videos that she put out in an attempt to, I think, maybe correct the stigma around people who file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy or bankruptcy in general. So here's the situation that's actually happening. So we've gotten to the reactions. Let's talk about what's actually going on. So according to the Neighborhood Talk, it says Pinky raced to court after a creditor seized her property following her bankruptcy filing, a move she says should have paused all collection efforts. Now, according to court docs obtained by TMZ, Pinky says that Guardian Asset Management took control of her 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom home in Loganville, Georgia, placed a notice on the property, and changed the locks. Pinky, who filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier this year, says that her legal team tried to inform the company that the filing should have stopped any collection activity. However, she claims the situation has already caused harm. She says the seizure is causing extreme financial harm because she planned to rent out the home for income and had already had a tenant lined up with a lease set to begin on April the 1st. April the 1st being, ironically, April Fool's Day is in about a week. Okay? In about a week. Now, in separate filings obtained by TMZ, she reveals she is dealing with millions in debt, and currently has little to no income aside from about a $15,000 a month earned by her husband. Now, I wonder, I don't know how this works, but I would have to wonder if the creditors, are they watching the social media of it all? Are they invested in that level? And some of you guys may know this a bit better than I would. And I'm also going to tell you what I think she should do in the meantime. So I want you to follow me here. As you guys know, I like to bring things full circle. So we're definitely going to be going back to the book in just 1 second. But I did tell you at the top of this video that we're going to be having some business discussions. And so let us begin. Okay? And you guys can chime down in the chat. Now, I don't know what the business is doing. What I do know is that right now, the economy is pretty tough for a lot of people. It is. It's tough going for a lot of people. And it seems as though even people who have been in the restaurant industry for quite some time, like the Candies and the Todds, now we know what they're going through, but they too have had some issues with their restaurants. And I don't know if this is just like an Atlanta thing or, an all over thing. I think I would probably wager to say it's probably an all over the country type of situation because of this, the economy and things. But let's go deeper than that. What I would wonder at this point for Pinky, now it's the timing of her participation on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm sure in some ways works in her favor. In a lot of ways, I would say probably works in her favor at this point because, that's a paycheck coming in. Granted, it's a first season paycheck, so that may not be a lot of money. But what she could stand to earn from this particular season outside of just the income from appearing on the show, it could turn into some other things, obviously. So that could be appearances, that could be other shows, that could be, paid interviews. I'm sure people would pay, there are people that I'm sure would pay for interviews. I just don't believe in doing that for me because I feel like if I'm offering also my platform, then I don't really feel like I should pay you. And maybe that's just where I'm at right now, but I don't fault people for charging for interviews because I understand that is also their time and their energy. So this is something that she could be doing. But I'm going to give you guys another suggestion that I think that she should be doing. And I think that she should write her second book during this period of time. Business-wise, the I Hope You Fail of it all, I really want her to change the title. This new book should be called I Hope You Win. Okay? I hope you win. I firmly believe, and I know this is going to sound real superstitious, but I do believe that you have to speak the positivity that you want to see. Okay? You have to speak the positivity that you want for your life. So that's why I didn't like the title of this book, I Hope You Fail. I get that there is an ironic meaning behind it because I did read the back of the book, right? I was in the bookstore. I picked up the book. I read the description. I started getting into the chapters. I actually started to buy the book, but I think I ended up buying this book instead. Don't Believe Everything You Think, which is an amazing book if you are an overthinker. Okay. But I like business books. I got the books all right here. I love a book, right? So this is what I think. She should document this process that she's going through. Now, granted, it's already going to be documented in some way, shape, or form on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17. But I think in a more intimate way, she should document this process because my belief is genuinely that people who, if you've ever made any amount of money before, then you can do it again. So I have complete faith that she can bounce back from this. I think that anybody can bounce back from anything. As long as you have air to breathe, as long as there's life left in your lungs, you can bounce back from just about anything with perseverance, hard work, and determination. And sometimes even not even just what you know, but who you know, right? You know the right people, you can get into the right situations, you can do the right things. What I'm going to suggest is that she chronicled this process on the YouTube. Okay? No more parodies. Girl, don't do no more of these Instagrams, poking fun at this whole situation. Do some deep digging into the patterns that may have gotten you here. And then I would also bring that into your YouTube channel as you chronicle your journey on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? You should be reacting to the episodes. You should be also chronicling what you are doing business-wise to build this thing again. Now, how do you do that? Because I see some of your comments in the chat saying that really people may not trust her business acumen at this point, but hear me out. Okay, I got a plan for that. What she does is this. She talks to business mentors. She doesn't need to be the person necessarily giving the advice. She should be the person, in my opinion, interviewing for the advice. Interviewing celebrities, people who have been in business and who are very successful, who have bounced back from this type of controversy, hardship, hard times. I agree. I think that you can learn a lot from your failures. So I think that's what she was trying to say with I hope you failed. And yes, that's why I said I read the back of the book and I understood where she was coming from. I still don't like I still don't like the title. I just don't like it because there's power in the tongue. There's so much power in the tongue. There's so much power in the tongue. There's so much power in decreeing and declaring. And again, I know I sound superstitious, but these are just things that I firmly, firmly believe. You've got to speak life over your businesses. You've got to speak life over your finances. You've got to speak life over your situation, no matter how hard it is. And I get the irony of it, but I hope that her next book is I Hope You Win. Because that's the space that I'm coming from with her and with anybody that's going through something like this. I don't wish this on nobody, on anybody. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that there's a way she can course correct perception. And I think that she can do that by initiating conversations on a podcast type format with business owners who have bounced back from these types of situations. And I think that what it not only does is it positions her as somebody who can speak from a place of failure and show people the road back to winning or what she would do differently. Monique, where did you send that person? Did you send them to bookings@djrichiesky.com? Send them there so it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. I'm still going through some of my Gmail emails from when I was out. I got to respond to some other client like pitches and stuff like that. So send it there because I will have access to it. My assistant will also have access to it as well. So make sure I actually get it. And able to act on it quickly because I got a lot of stuff happening all at the same time, it seems. Okay, so that's what I think that Pinky Cole should do. Pinky, listen, for me, girl, I'll send you an email. I'll send you a message, DM or something like that. But I do think that would be the route that I would take. I think it's an easy fix, not a really easy fix, but it's a way to monetize your comeback. That's what I think you do. You hustle hard on that end, and you run ads to your book, to the new book. You have a wait list for that book, and you immediately start this podcast. You start talking to people because this way you're not positioning yourself as this financial expert or this business expert. You're positioning yourself as someone who is learning from the best, okay? Taking in information, but also providing information to people who may also be going through similar hardships. And that's also why I try not to for me, you know, I've been in this space where, you know, years ago, my car was repossessed. You know what I'm saying? So I know, you know, and I've been fired from a news job. I know, you know, I don't know what that is like, the millions, but what did Karen Euclid say? You got to make millions to owe millions. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we wish her the best, man. And I think that just, you know, reframing some things and doing some things differently and taking some different actions, I think that she can be well back on her way if she makes the smart plays to a better spot. I am doing pretty good today. We got one more story that I do want to talk to you guys about, and I think is super interesting. Let's talk about it. So earlier today, I saw this post from Margaret Josephs. I'm going to play you some of it.
It's the March. I'm dialing in. I have to tell you something that might come as a little surprise to you, but not for me. I've been thinking about a lot of different things, and I am moving on from the Housewives of New Jersey, so I don't look a little more glamorous for you. I've been in the talks with the network and Andy since December. We've discussed it, and I think the timing is right. A lot of things have changed in my life. I've been blessed to work on a different project. I'm on the set right now, and I realize I have to spend more time with my family, work on my designing, and just take a break and move on. So I also wanted to say I want to thank NBC Universal, Bravo, Andy, our production company, my cast, the good and the bad. I really do love you all. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. This will not be the last you guys see of me on television. That's not a threat, it's a promise. And I'm excited for all the new opportunities, and I'm grateful for all of you for supporting me for all these years. And you will see me very, very soon back on your TV screens. Mwah. Love you.
Let's talk about it. Let me just say this. First of all, okay. Now, the network, in my opinion, loves Dolores. The network, in my opinion, loves Teresa and Melissa. The problem had been in the past that the Teresa versus Melissa situation was so freaking stale that nobody could stand it. And what you see in the media with Teresa and Melissa and Joe and everybody making up, in my opinion, was y'all, the money and the job is more important to us than this petty beef that we've got going with this family. Okay. I believe that the beef is still there, but they have come to recognize that we need to get paid. We need to keep these businesses going. You know, we need to make the smart play here. And to be honest with you, I don't blame them. If I could stand to make, you know, $1 million or $700,000 I just gotta be around you at some dinners, and we gotta go on some fabulous trips together. I mean, yeah, I could do that, even though I can't stand your stank self. Absolutely, I will definitely be there with bells on, drinking my champagne. Okay, not liking you for one single second, but definitely kikiing and cacaing with you, and nobody will ever know the difference, because guess what? The mortgage and the rent is always due. Okay. 9 times out of 10, first of the month. All right. And so as a result, what we do know is that because cash rules everything around me, cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all, they made it work to the point publicly where Bravo is like, okay, we've given it enough time for y'all to put this thing back together again, get this thing back on track, and now we can start making some things shake, rattle, and roll. Business, baby. Business 101. I told y'all we was having business discussions, and business, we are in it. So we knew that they loved them some Dolores. I mean, hello, Traders. Hello, Real Housewives of Rhode Island, which I'm really honestly not too interested in. I mean, I'm probably interested more in Beverly Hills, which is boring, than I am this Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Real Housewives of Rhode Island looks like Secret Wives of Mormon Wives, but set in Rhode Island. But that's just me. I'm not even gonna dive into that whole Taylor lady kerfuffle that's happening right now, because I don't really know them people on that show. All I know is they look alike, and so do them ladies on Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I hate to say it like that, but they do. Because we're not familiar with them, it looked like a bunch of the brunette women that it's hard for me to differentiate how all of them, because ain't none of them. I mean, can somebody have a shortcut haircut or something like that? A pixie cut, blonde hair? I mean, black? I mean, could we get a little bit of differentiation with them girls? Meanwhile, I digress. Okay, let me bring it back. Let me bring it on back. Having said all that, seeing Marge's post this morning made me realize that, we're probably going to get an announcement about Jersey pretty soon. And as I read the announcement, I'm going to tell you what I think about the Marge. Okay? And you tell me what you think. In the chat, in the chatterizations. You tell me what you thinks. Because Bravo had posted this like right before I went live, and I was like, Interessante. Is back better? Real Housewives of New Jersey is on display as Teresa, Dolores, and Melissa begin filming season 15 soon. So, that along with Margaret's message lets me know that, do I believe that the Marge just bowed out of this season? I don't know. I always think that it's great that the network allows the ladies to say whatever they want to say. I think that that's very generous. Do I believe that that's the case? I don't know. Do I like Marge? Absolutely. Do I think that Marge would do well on Traders? Absolutely. Might the Traders be the next place that we see Margaret? It would make sense to me. Would it not? Would it not? I just don't think that there was going to be a way that the Teresa and Margaret of it all was ever going to be reconciled, and that was always going to hold the show back. The Teresa versus Melissa and Joe was always going to hold the show back. It did hold the show back. So none of this is surprising to me. And I'll be interested to see who they bring in. They've got to bring in some dynamic women. Okay? It's got to be some dynamic women. No snooze fest. No Teresa soldiers, we don't need any of that anymore. Like, I just want independent women who can think for themselves and who do not want to jump on the Teresa versus Melissa and Melissa versus Teresa train. I just don't want to see it anymore. Okay? Yeah, I mean, I respect Robin for admitting that she was fired. I mean, I think that that's just Robin's personality to just sort of just say what it is. And I don't know. I was listening to a clip of their podcast. I think I saw it on like No Chaser _TV. And, Robin was saying she fell asleep on Traders. And that's always been not Traders, the movie Sinners. That's always been my thing with Robin. She just seems so sleepy. I mean, I do like her on the podcast, but when she said that today, because she didn't kind of really understand, the whole thing with the Oscars, and Michael B. Jordan as a result of them seeing the movie. She just didn't get it. And I just thought to myself, oh, Sleepy Robin. Sleepy Robin. Contrary to popular belief, I don't dislike Robin. Though I remain blocked by her, I just think that I want more for her all the time. I don't want Robin to be sleepy. I want Robin to wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. Like, just wake up, girl. Wake up! That's all I want. That's all I want. Yeah, I heard about that as well when I was on vacay. I heard about that, and I'm just... I am interested in Kenya Moore and Tamar. I don't know that I'm interested in throwing Marge in that mix. I feel like Marge might do better with those ladies down in Florida. You know, the Real Housewives of New York girls. But I like Margaret in general, so I'm happy she will still be on our screens because she's a troublemaker. She stirs the pot. I mean, she gives what reality TV is supposed to give, although she has a hard time moving past, issues. You can't hold a grudge for long on these shows, y'all. That's the whole thing. You cannot hold a grudge for long on these shows, and when you do, it stops the show from moving forward, and it just creates a bottleneck. And we, the fans, don't need that. Okay? Yeah, she blocked me. I'm not sure what I said, but so it goes. It comes, listen, if you're going to do this type of work, right? If I'm going to do this job, and I've done it for quite some time. Sometimes you're going to say some things that just don't rub a person the right way. And I gotta be okay with that. I hate it for me. I mean, because despite the fact that I might be critical of her, I think Robin is funny. I think she's funny. I think she's obviously a beautiful woman, and I want her to win, but she don't always make the right decisions, in my opinion. And she does kind of give off a sleepy vibe. Like, wake up, girl. No, haven't seen it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see her doing that. Definitely do a rewatch of New Jersey. New Jersey has some pretty, I mean, some of those earlier seasons, and then the seasons when Marge first came on and Danielle Staub had come back, definitely worth the watch too. Okay, so definitely tap into those and let me know what you think. Come back here and let me know what you think. Y'all crazy. Oh, thank you. All right, y'all. So listen, that's the tea that we got for y'all today. Thank you guys for tuning in, tapping into the show. Listen, I have got to get back to, I got to go cook. It's dinner time. I'm tired. I'm still jet lagged. I still got emails to respond to, y'all. It ain't easy. Okay. It ain't easy traveling the world, baby, but somebody got to do it. All right. And where we going next? We going to the Bali. I have 2 more spaces, I think, available for the second week that we are going. Yes, we are still traveling. Yes, go ahead and book your tickets now. Yes, just get some travel insurance. Yes, we're going to still see the world. Yes, they're going to make a difference in our own lives and do the things that we want to do. Yes, we're going to keep on keeping on, okay? Despite whatever else is happening. Yes, God got us. Okay? So there is that. So if you something I want to say to y'all is this. some of y'all, myself included, need to see how other people live in other countries. Because you need to see how welcome you might feel in some of these other spaces and how you don't feel like you are in any danger in some of these places. And Bali is one of those places that you just feel like you can be yourself, you can feel free, you can be black and brown or other and feel safe and welcome. And for some of y'all, you will feel safer than you do in your own home. And now we said it. Okay? So that's why we do these trips. That's why we go to these different places. That's why we discover places that we've never been before. So we can really open our minds to see that we can do business in other places, that we can reset in some other places, that we can finally relax and realign ourselves in other places. And that don't mean you got to move there. That just means that you got a place that you feel like you can go when you need some place to restart your life, to just do something different, to see something different. I try, please, for the love of everything in your mind, in my mind, in your body, in your heart, in your soul, get your passport, okay? If you do nothing else, if you take nothing else from this conversation today, we done talked about a whole bunch of business things. But baby, let me tell you something. Get your passport. All right, now, thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all know I love y'all, and I will catch you in the next video.